The rise and fall of Theranos has led our team to reflect on the need for clear ethics within leaders. Through this case, we spoke to many leaders about purpose and ethics and used our research and reflections from class to guide our team into thinking more about leadership and purpose. Elizabeth Holmes, the founder and CEO of Theranos, dropped out of college like many other unicorn founders. She created a blood testing startup in 2003. By 2013, it was valued at $9 billion under her leadership. Holmes was convicted 11 years in prison for fraudulent activity against investors. She was noted to be very persuasive and very composed for a woman her age. People who worked for her described her as decisive. Her vision was clear and unwavering. She was very confident and result-oriented. These are all characteristics of authoritative leadership. Externally, she was seen as inspirational. Her charisma and visionary thinking was set to change medicine. The impact of her discovery would have had lasting impacts on the industry. These are all signs of a transformational leader. And looking back, she was mimicking everything from her icon Steve Jobs. She dressed like him. Her leadership style was linked to him as well. Scientists
South African
oncologist over the decades, just like in Elizabeth's case, the 1960s had a claiming whistleblower. His name was breast cancer and high-dose chemotherapy in the 1990s. He uncovered unethical human experimentation. He published papers with high survival rates. Prompted significant reform in 2001, and he was convicted of informed consent and standards of more than 400 patients. However, in the 1980s, William McBride misused those standards. In the 2000s, falsely reported that a morning sickness drug was causing deformities the first human embryonic elevating his status as a scientist for over 10 years. Investigations revealed he fabricated this research and set back and he only lost his license and trust of the research for by decades.
This is a theme that continued in the 1990s and the 2000s. Werner Bezwada falsified claims that he had cured women of breast cancer. The only repercussions he faced was a redaction of his work. Meanwhile, Hang Woo-sak said that he had successfully cloned stem cells. This was also falsified information, and there were no repercussions. Unlike those before her, Holmes received a prison sentence of 11 years when the scandal of Theranos was brought to light. We wanted to understand why Holmes got the long sentence she did. We feel that this case acts as an example to other entrepreneurs who feel that they perhaps do not have a responsibility to accountability and honesty. Holmes used her leadership and her position of power to pressure others around her to be complicit in the lies. She misdiagnosed patients and she lost huge amounts of investor money. This is the kind of risk of overpromising. Entrepreneurs need to focus on long-term success, and the key to this is honesty and ethics. We looked at different factors in this case that made it very difficult to detect fraud. Firstly, there was a culture of secrecy that was built up by Holmes. She said that she was protecting her intellectual property, and actually a key issue was the regulatory gap. This is seen across biotech and tech industries as they are kind of adapting so quickly with very complex operations. So it's clear that governments need to keep up with these. There should be clear governance solutions, including transparent internal policies, oversight from board of directors, and also independent verification of any claims, particularly if they are affecting people's health. Now, the role of the media is particularly interesting in this case. Fortune, Forbes, and many other magazines placed her on their covers, and she was portrayed as this tech prodigy and almost a celebrity. This built up a lot of trust around her, and through these magazines, she was really able to control the narrative. Her leadership skills and her ability to kind of control the room and control who she was speaking to further kind of elevated her and concealed the reality. In a turn of events, it was actually also the media who brought her down, although it's key to note that these are different sorts of media outlets. The Wall Street Journal was the first to really investigate what was truly going on. They spoke to whistleblowers who had previously been silenced, and they really looked at the data to understand the true picture. This led to the downfall of Elizabeth Holmes on an enormous scale. We've taken away so many learnings from this course and from this assignment, and we've really thought about the purpose of leaders and how it is so key to build a purpose when you are leading a company. We've spoken to many different sources of kind of knowledge and who are kind of leaders in the field. So we have Tracy Camilleri, who is a professor at Oxford University at Said Business School. She's also the founder of Thompson Harrison, a consultancy that works with CEOs. and we spoke to her about the importance of confidence and leaders building up great teams. And a key message that she wanted to share with us today is,
one of the key jobs of leaders is to build and develop leaders. And what you need, back to your first question for that, is a really clearly articulated sense of purpose in order for that to function.
I spoke to Siya Kolisi about his approach to leadership, his journey as a Springboks rugby captain and the only captain to lead a record double World Cup win back-to-back and uniting a country at the same time. He said the most important thing is the team, not the leader. It is important to understand the leader you have around you and to collaborate. Your role as a leader is to serve them.
I spoke to Balint Fazekas. He became the CEO of Euronics aged 22, and he said right from the start he had a very clear vision, and he's brought people along with him on this journey. He said the key to his vision and to his company is to enable employees to make mistakes and learn from these mistakes, and that was a really key takeaway that I took from the conversation.
The key takeaway from Justin Absey, the CEO of Unilever South Africa, is that as a leader, you need to have a purpose. He was mentored and coached and believes that in mentoring, you have a powerful tool to foster continuity for business and communities at large.
As a team, we've all learnt so much from this project and from the course and from speaking to other leaders in different industries. We all agreed that Holmes's authoritative style was a key reason that led to Theranos' demise. She created a culture where others were not able to speak up. If we could impart 3 things on our MBA class, it's the value of transparency. It's also, secondly, having a very clear vision and bringing people along with this vision. And thirdly, empowering others to speak up and make mistakes.